American Airlines is by far the best place to search for Oneworld award flight availability. So we're going to start there for our search from New York City to Amsterdam in this Travel Award Search series on business class award flights. On the American Airlines site, you do not need to log into your Advantage account. Just go down the page, make sure you've clicked One Way, by far the easiest way to search and keep track of things, and redeem miles, of course. And we're going to go from New York, and American does have the option of selecting all the New York area airports, and we're going to go to Amsterdam, which only has one airport. We usually search by just one passenger, and in this example, we're going to look for availability on August 12th, and it is currently February. Now you notice we have not yet selected business class. You can do that by going into the advanced search, or I like to just do it in the monthly calendar. And then I also like to narrow it by the number of stops. So I'm just looking at one stop between New York and Amsterdam. And as you can see, we have widespread availability in August at a great mileage rate of 57,500 miles. But you also notice at the top of the page that the fees are a whopping $752 a person. The reason these fees are so high going through Heathrow is the UK charges quite a bit in taxes, and the UK carriers add an additional fee on top of that, making it quite expensive. But this is great, especially with the widespread availability, as a backup, because these are one stop or fewer flights, so they should be pretty reasonable flights if you can afford that cash cost. So let's take a look at the specifics, see if there are very many flights. By clicking the arrow key, we're ensured that we're going to get the low mileage flights first. This one has a pretty long stop with a 23-hour total time, but this one is just 10 hours and 45 minutes, has 2 seats. So let's look at the details on it. So it has a 2-hour and 5-minute connection time in Heathrow. Heathrow does take some time, but 2 hours should certainly be adequate. And it is on a Boeing 777, so a very nice plane, and is operated by British Airways. The second flight is on an Airbus 320, just 1 hour and 30 minutes, also operated by British Airways. I like to use these as a backup so that you know you have a flight as long as you can afford that pretty significant cost while you look for other flights. Now, because of that widespread availability, the other thing it's nice for, again, if you can afford the cash cost, is looking for flights when you have a large number of people. So I'm going in and changing the search to 9 people, which is the max it allows in the system. And as long as I'm in that screen, I will click business in that one. For 9 people, we can get several different flights. As I scroll down, this one with the 15-hour total duration is the shortest one, which is a 7-hour layover in Heathrow. Should be plenty of time to get through Heathrow, but is a little long. I looked for a better option for the timing on a 9-person trip, and just by moving to August 13th, the next day, I was able to find this flight with about a 12-hour duration, again through Heathrow going out of JFK, and the connection time there is 3 hours and 25 minutes. So plenty of time to make a connection in Heathrow, but not an extreme amount of time. Tracking our results is very important so we don't end up redoing searches because we forgot some of the specifics. Now, there are so many results on the American website. I'm not going to try and list them all. I'm only going to list the key ones. And then as I keep planning my trip, if I want to shift things, then I'll look at the other options. We're tracking the first flight we found on the 12th, which was our target date. There are 2 tickets available on that flight, and the one I liked had a total time of 10 hours and 20 minutes. There were shorter duration flights available, but an hour and 50 minutes is about the least I'm really comfortable with in Heathrow. I've done okay, but I've had some friends with shorter connection times that have missed their flights. And I've also tracked that flight on the 13th that has as many as 9 tickets available for those that are traveling with large families, and the best connection time there was that 3.5 hours. This has been Wandering Woman with Travel Award Search, another in our series on flights from New York City to Amsterdam with a search on American Airlines website, the key website to search for Oneworld flights. We'd appreciate a like or a subscription, and as always, travel wisely, travel well. Thank you.